In the village of Al-Ghassa, Sudan, a young girl's world was defined by the warmth of her family and the beauty of the fields. That world shattered when she was kidnapped by slave traders. The trauma was so profound that she forgot her own name. Her captors mocked her by naming her Bakhita, meaning fortunate. For the next 12 years, her fortune was a succession of masters who treated her as property. She was beaten, traded, and subjected to a cruel ritual of tattooing, where flour and salt were rubbed into 144 deep blade cuts to ensure the scars remained forever. Yet, even in the darkness of a basement, or the sting of a whip, Bakhita would look at the moon and stars and feel a mysterious sense of awe, whispering to a creator she did not yet know. Who is the master of these beautiful things? Bakhita's path to sainthood began not with a miracle, but with a choice of the will. When she was eventually brought to Italy and placed in the care of the Canossian sisters, she encountered a crucifix for the first time. Looking at the wounds of Christ, she realized that there was a God who had suffered just as she had, and that he had done so out of love for her. When her owners returned to take her back to a life of servitude, the once silent Bakhita found a voice of iron. She refused to leave the house of God. The resulting court case in 1889 declared her legally free, but her true freedom was internal. She chose to remain with the sisters, not as a servant, but as a daughter of God. What makes Bakhita a saint is not the tragedy she endured, but the radical sweetness she returned to a world that had been bitter to her. She spent 50 years as the doorkeeper of her convent in Schio. She became the face of the community, greeting every visitor with a smile that showed no trace of the 144 scars beneath her habit. Children loved her, the poor sought her out, and the townspeople began to call her Madre Moretta, our Black Mother. Her holiness was found in the extraordinary performance of the ordinary. She served as a cook, a seamstress, and a sacristan, seeing every menial task as a way to love the master who had freed her. The pinnacle of her sanctity was her perspective on her past. When asked how she felt about her kidnappers, Bakhita replied, "If I were to meet those slave traders who kidnapped me, and even those who tortured me, I would kneel and kiss their hands, for if that did not happen, I would not be a Christian and a religious today." This was not a dismissal of the evil of slavery, but a testimony to the power of redemptive suffering. She refused to let her identity be defined by her victimhood. Instead, she used her scars as a bridge to God. In her final years, Bakhita suffered from painful sickness that forced her to relive her trauma. In her delirium, she would cry out, "Please loosen the chains, they are heavy." But even then, she would come to herself and whisper, "As the Master wills." She died on February 8, 1947. Today, she is the patron saint of Sudan and survivors of trafficking. Her story remains a narrative of how the most broken life can become a vessel of light, proving that while humans can chain the body, only the soul can choose to remain free.